Before I get into today's video, remember to follow me on Twitter. So my Twitter, the link is in the description below. You can also find me. My handle is @JacksonKruger. Come over, say hi. And anyways, back to your regularly scheduled video. All right, let's talk some DeVonta Smith here. You know, the Heisman winner has been playing really well for the Philadelphia Eagles. In fact, I think he has changed this offense in a lot of ways. I think that last year they just didn't have anybody who could get open against man coverage at all. DeVonta Smith can't stop getting open against man coverage. So that's been a lot of fun. And so, yeah, let's talk about what he's doing so well. Let's just jump into the film. So let's start things off with one like this. So the coverage is going to be zone coverage, but it's really a one-on-one matchup with Smith right here. So that's kind of the important thing to look at, because the deep corner is essentially just going to be trying to take away DeVonta Smith. So don't really think about it as zone. Think about it as just a one-on-one. The corner Smith's going up against is Mike Hughes, who has actually looked decent this year, but, was a first-round pick who has kind of yet to live up to the hype so far. He was a first-round selection from Minnesota a few years back. Anyways, watch what's going to happen. So let's take a look at this first step. So we're pausing this early on this one because I think one interesting thing about Smith is one of the things that was talked a lot about was, he's so skinny, right? Can he play in the NFL being at his size? Well, one of the areas where people were concerned about that is at the line. How are you going to be able to, if someone's pressing against him, creating contact, what can he do to counter that? Well, the thing is, he's just so quick at the line. It's going to be hard to get the hand placement that you want if you are going to try to create contact at the line as a defensive back. Because watch how he just sidesteps Hughes like that and is able to just blow by him. So, sure, you can argue, hey, press coverage, maybe some contact will be created. The flip side is he can easily sidestep you, and he's so explosive that now you're in trouble. At this point, I mean, this is just a huge win for Smith. Hurts makes the throw, and, Hughes actually played this one pretty well. He did a good job of coming back, but, Smith had done the great work at the beginning portion of that route to get himself open enough that even with a good attempt by Hughes there, it was not enough. And we did see Smith go on to win that matchup and make a good catch. We also have something like this. So what's going to happen is that it's man coverage, and you have Smith who's running a route that's going to be, what's interesting about this route, and the main reason I want to bring it up, is it's going to show off his footwork. The guy's so shifty. That's really what he is excelling at, is how shifty he is. Watch how right when this play starts. So he gets to the inside, and I want to pause it right here, because you're thinking, man, how does he get to the sideline from here? What's he going to do? The Kansas City player who he's going up against is currently lined up further in that direction. How does Smith make this happen? But watch his footwork. Look at him on a dime just completely move over and get completely wide open. So, again, that's kind of what he can do, is he can just move incredibly well. And when you can do that, you can consistently win against man coverage, which that's always my test for, are you a true number one receiver? Can you consistently win against man? Well, he's won pretty consistently so far this season. Like, I think this play is a great example of that, where what's going to happen is that, again, it's man coverage right here. So just a quick slant route against man. It's nothing too fancy, but again, we're going to see his footwork really come into play here. I mean, look at how he's basically immediately just going to get completely wide open with that. So again, it's that quick footwork and his ability to move on a dime while keeping at a high speed it's really difficult to replicate, especially as a corner. You obviously don't know where the receiver is going, so the quicker you can make those cuts, the better for Philadelphia. And we also have something like this now, where I'm mostly talking about man, and to me, that's where I care more about. I think if you're a guy who can beat man consistently, you're going to be able to beat zone consistently. However, let's talk a little bit about how maybe he can win in zone the way others can't, using that same skill set, using his sort of ability to, stop on a dime, using his great footwork. What's going to happen is that it's zone coverage, quarters coverage though. So you have, a corner who is going to be in the zone that Smith is eventually going to get to. That's how this works. And watch how. So Hurts takes the snap. You now see that Smith is running up, and the corner who is, and at this point, the guy who's going to be having to cover Smith, look at how his hips are turned towards the middle of the field, how he's sort of ready to go deep right here. An element of this is just the respect that Smith brings, of he is someone who, you want to make sure you don't get burned against. But the issue with something like this, of course, is that, well, now Smith can get open in other ways. Part of why you turn the hips towards the middle is just that's what you do in this zone coverage. But what's great about Smith is that while a lot of guys would try to, cut at this point, well, now a defensive back can still get into play. But his ability to cut so well is what's going to work here. Because watch when he stops, it's so sudden that it's just kind of difficult to, react to there. And again, an element of this as well was because of, the first down marker stopping right before that. So that's also an element to why you're kind of expecting, okay, maybe they're not going to, cut right in front of the first down marker, but it was on first down. So it's not like this is like a third down, which would make it a little bit more of a different situation. This was still first down. So maybe that came into play, but I think more than anything, it was just Smith's great ability, great footwork. And you also have this one, which I believe this was his first catch actually in the NFL, goes for a touchdown, so there you go. It's going to be just a little pick play / rub route, which, by the way, seems like the NFL really cutting down on rub routes, especially against Philadelphia. I don't know what's going on there exactly, but it's going to be man coverage, and you have Smith who's going to run a route. Basically the way this works is that you have a Philadelphia player kind of get in the way of the defensive back in charge of covering Smith. And watch how this is going to work. And, good job to not really create a penalty there by Philly, I thought. But Smith at this point is open. And once he gets just a little bit of opening, he's good. It's hard to come back against a guy like Smith. So once you can scheme him up just that little opening, he's going to be fine. And as you see, so you throw it deep down the field, Smith is going to be able to make the catch, and they are going to get a touchdown right there. So, yeah, it's stuff like that. It's his ability, his shiftiness, the way he moves, all of that stuff is just really fun to watch, and he's been really good this, first 5 weeks or so. Crazy. We got a lot of good wide receivers. He's certainly been one of them early on. So yeah, it truly is exciting stuff. And with him and Hurts, they clearly have a good connection. Things are going well with them. So that's always nice to see. And I just think it can't be overstated that how bad of a receiving core last year was. And part of it is just guys, maybe getting healthier, I don't know, but playing better that were, still in that roster last year. But a big chunk of it is just having a guy like Smith who can kind of be someone to lean on in a lot of ways. That stuff really matters. It really does. So, I've personally been very impressed with Smith so far in the NFL. He's looking like a great player already, which has got to be exciting for Eagles fans. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.